Well, today, everybody, this video is going to be great. Today, we're going to be doing an updated guitar collection video here for the end of 2023. So I hope you all had a great Christmas if you celebrated, and if not, I just hope you're doing well during the holiday season. I'm wearing my brand new New York Yankees beanie that my stepfather gave me. So yeah, I look like Fred Durst today, so I'm all for it. Fun fact, I grew up a Yankees fan, not a Phillies fan. My parents are from Jersey, so I got the New York Yankees influence. But anyway, man, yeah, that's why I'm not wearing a Phillies hat. I'm a Yankees fan. Enough rambling, dude. Let's just start talking about some of my guitars. So I have them all around this room right now, and I'm just going to pull them out one by one, and I think I have all of them. I don't think I'm missing any of them. I don't think any of them are buried away or anything like that. And yeah, dude, I got quite some guitars to talk about and get through, so we're going to do it right now, okay? So starting right off, let's start with my first guitar ever. I got this guitar in Christmas 2003, and my last video that I put up on my channel was a video dedicated to this guitar. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend going back to that video and listening to the story of this guitar. And actually, I recreated the iconic picture of me with this guitar on Christmas night 2003, and I did it at my mom's house again. So here it is. These pictures are exactly 20 years apart to the day, and it's pretty awesome, man. I'm so thankful that I did that. But this is a BC Rich Warlock starter guitar from the Bronze series. And, you know, these guitars have been discontinued, but this came with a combo amp, a guitar gig bag, a guitar strap, some picks, and this was my guitar that I just was obsessed with for years and years, man. Put it this way, because of this guitar, I'm sitting in front of you here today. Up next, we have a little cheapy Donner effects guitar that was sent to me about 3 years ago. This guitar is pretty infamous because during the unboxing with this guitar, a spider came out of the box, and it almost attacked me, and I almost got superpowers. I didn't, which was a bummer, but yeah, man, it was pretty serious. So for those of you guys who remember that video, it was pretty funny, right? I'm thinking about doing something with this guitar, an experiment that will essentially ruin this guitar, but I think in the name of science, it would be worth it. So I just haven't pulled the trigger on it, but I'm probably going to do it here at the beginning of 2024. So be on the lookout for this guitar. All right, up next, we have my 92 Gibson Les Paul Standard Gold Top that I painted myself. This guitar originally was a plain top, and as you can see, it's been through the ringer, to put it mildly. The headstock's been snapped off. I've worn through the finish on the back of the neck. Like I said, I painted it myself. I've had maybe 5 or 6 different electronic configurations and or pickups in this guitar. Right now, it's just one volume. This doesn't work, obviously, and, you know, just one pickup. It looks absolutely, you know, beat to shit, but it is my baby, man, and it is been on the channel the most out of all the guitars that I'm going to be showing you here today. This guitar was all over Chronic Pain, my first album. Like songs like Endorphins was actually this guitar, Lucky Number 10, Resurgence, Starlit Cavern, basically all the drop C-sharp stuff, with the exception of Neck Brace, was on this guitar on Chronic Pain. This guitar you guys have seen recently, this is my 2005 Dean USA Cadillac, and we're down to cylinder right now, aka down a tuner, because I needed one for my BC Rich Warlock, but I'm probably going to take it back out of that guitar and put it back in this one. I just needed a tuner for that video. But anyway, man, yeah, if you guys haven't seen this guitar really just kind of just took on a new life over the last 2-3 weeks, man, where like I reset this guitar up. I put some EMG pickups in it, EMG 3-way. We got a kill switch from EMG in this guitar as well, 2 volumes. This doesn't work. That just looks cool, so it looks like I have 2 toggles. That's just there for show. But anyway, man, yeah, this guitar really has become really famous really quickly. One of my reels on Instagram has gone more or less viral with this guitar from a riff that I wrote, and that riff has been sent off to one of my favorite metal vocalists in the game right now, and he's currently working on that track. So yeah, that'll be on my next endeavor. So really excited that this guitar created a really cool new song that will be out, you know, in 2024 at some point. Here's a guitar that's under construction at the moment. This is my Harley Benton 30-inch baritone Jazzmaster looking thing, and as you can see, I've put on a Hip Shop Gold bridge from one of my other guitars for right now, and I just need to find some matching tuners, some matching gold tuners, and this guitar will be back, man. I really love this guitar. I don't know if it's one of my favorite baritones, but it is certainly awesome. You know, I've been kind of known over the last couple of years for being the 30-inch baritone guy. I mean, I got a signature guitar coming out in 2024 that's 30 inches, so like, you know, I'm always a fan of these types of guitars, but for right now, my Harley Benton Jazzmaster looking 30-inch baritone is just under construction, and is just in need of a setup and some new tuners. All right, the Kiesel A2. This guitar is really cool, man. Kiesel built this for me. I'm super thankful, and I toured with this guitar all over the spring of 2023, and it's all over my album in several different songs, quite literally all over my album. As you can see, everybody, look real quick, like this is all the CDs I have left. So like, what are we at, like 10 or something like that? I got to go to the post office again to ship out some more, do some more Okona stuff. But yeah, dude, Fever Dream was recorded with this Kiesel A2, and it's literally on the back of the CD as well as the inside as well. So for those of you who have received a copy of this, I've been signing the autograph right there in that spot. But yeah, the Kiesel A2 matches the aesthetic of the Subtle Comeback album, you know, black and orange. It looks super sick. All my drop A stuff that I write anymore is on this guitar. This is my favorite 7-string that I own, and yeah, dude, Kiesel A2. What's there not to like about it? In the running for my favorite guitar that I've ever owned, this is my 2022 Gibson Les Paul Custom Silver Burst with a broken headstock. You guys know the story with this guitar. If you guys don't, just look up this guitar on my channel. I've done like 3 or 4 videos talking about, you know, how this guitar came into my house, into my life with a checkered past, we'll say, right? But this guitar is solely responsible for the song Strawberry Mansion on my album. And by the way, guys, if you want to pick up one of my CDs, there's like literally only 10 left. Just DM me at Instagram or shoot me an email and I'll get it out to you. Because once they're gone for a long, long time, if not indefinitely. So it's a great way to support me and support what I do. If you guys are into what I'm into and enjoy the music or just enjoy my channel, it would mean a lot, okay? But yeah, Strawberry Mansion was solely written and recorded on this guitar, and Strawberry Mansion is probably the 3rd most popular song on the album behind, I guess, Subtle Comeback and Fever Dream. So yeah, really, really happy with how that song came out. It's a really, really challenging riff, and I dig it a lot, man. All right, a guitar that has really taken on a life of its own on Instagram lately. Anything I post with this guitar seems to blow up, and I'm super thankful that you guys or anybody who follows me on Instagram really, really digs this guitar and what it does. This is a Fender Ultralux Stratocaster from 2021, but yeah, it's about 3 years old now, but this guitar I have completely, more or less, just Frankensteined as all get out. I mean, we got new brass block, new springs, completely new electronics. I've duct taped or electrical taped the whammy bar. I put in new stainless steel screws, whatever these things are called, inserts to you know, make sure the strings don't move. It's in drop A sharp currently, just because it's an FD tuning. I got Fender locking tuners on this thing. Reason why it's in drop A sharp and or the FD tuning is because I'm thinking about taking this guitar back out on the road in 2024 in replacement of my 1978 Gibson Les Paul Custom, because the Fender scale length, let's just call it how it is a lot easier to maintain and manage and such a lower tuning. So anyway, man, this guitar really is taking a life of its own. I love how I spray painted it, and now the spray paint's kind of wearing away, and you know, it looks ridiculous, man. I love it, man. Really, really love how I've made this guitar mine and have completely just changed a dad rock instrument into like one of the coolest guitars that I've ever seen. Oh yeah, it's also got an EMG afterburner on it as well. Because one thing with this guitar, I've tried to get more sustain out of this guitar, but for whatever reason, it just lacks sustain. So adding the afterburner on just literally, you know, gets more gain on tap and more sustain, more firepower, more distortion, all the above. So that was just a huge breakthrough with this guitar, because I was always kind of fighting it. It was great for rhythms, but like, it really just lacks some sustain, and even with some EMGs in this guitar, the sustain is pretty lackluster. But when I kick on the afterburner, which is essentially like an overdrive on your guitar, it more or less fixed that problem. All right, up next is the Harley Benton Jim Root Stratocaster knockoff. You guys have seen this on my channel several times. Don't really know what I want to do with this guitar. Don't really like it that much, but you know, it's in need of some sort of upgrade and modification, or at the very least sell it and or gift it to somebody, maybe give it away. I don't know, but I really don't play it other than anytime I need to like do Slipknot content, just like on a budget or something like that. But yep, it's still here. Up next is my Balaguer Toro that's been sourced out for parts. I took the bridge off of this guitar, put it on my Harley Benton. Never really gelled with this guitar all that much. It looks beautiful, it really does, but never really liked the sound from a rhythm standpoint, and it was always kind of hard to play because of no forearm contour. You guys know my opinions on that if you guys have been following this channel. But yeah, dude, like, just never really gelled with this guitar, which is kind of a bummer because I really, really like the way this guitar looks. I did a lot of solos on, I think, my first album with this guitar. But yeah, other than that, just never really gelled with it. Here's an Ibanez Geo that somebody gifted to me, one of my students that I teach privately. He gave me this guitar as just like a memento and a way to say thank you. Here's a famous guitar of mine. This is my Solar A2.6 neon orange guitar. Doesn't really look neon under the lights right now, but trust me, it is very, very orange. This guitar has the Fluff signature Fishman pickup in it, and this guitar is responsible for my most popular song of all time, Subtle Comeback, with Tom Barber on vocals. This guitar was written and recorded on that song. And yeah, man, you guys really, really dig it. I dig that song, obviously. It's amazing. And it is, yeah, literally the title track of my album. Up next, we have my Balaguer Toro 30-inch Select Custom Baritone guitar with the EMG J Master pickups. Really, really dig this guitar a lot more now since I have added a forearm contour. If you guys haven't seen that video, just look up a video titled, like, I took a belt sander to my guitar and fixed it or something like that. But yeah, man, once I put out a forearm contour on this guitar, really, really came to life. I toured with this guitar once upon a time, a couple years ago. I like this guitar a lot more than the normal scale Toro that I was telling you guys about. And I've been recording and dabbling with this guitar again ever since I gave it a forearm contour, and have been doing some pre-pro stuff and some demoing stuff with, you know, some new tracks that I'm working on that'll be out either in 2024 or 2025. I mean, we literally just put out an album this year, like, you know, 4 or 5 weeks ago now, maybe 6 weeks ago. I don't know. God, maybe it's been 2 months now, but you know, we just put out an album, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put one out in 2024. But regardless, I have been writing pretty extensively with this guitar in all my Drop F stuff. Up next, we have an S by Solar A 4.6 or something like that. This guitar is really, really affordable, and I've already got a video in the works for this guitar, a demo and dedicated video on this guitar, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that if you haven't done so. And yeah, man, a little spoiler alert, S by Solar is actually pretty sick, dude. I really don't have too much to complain about, especially for the price of like $300. This guitar is actually pretty rad. But until then, you guys are going to just have to wait to hear what it sounds like and what it does. But yeah, man, like I said, spoiler alert, it's pretty sick. Up next is my USA Jim Root Stratocaster. Now I've Frankenstein this guitar. I originally had this guitar with the maple board, but then I swapped the neck and gave it the ebony board to kind of match the aesthetic of Jim Root himself. And I've since swapped out the pickups and added the Jim Root signature EMG pickups. This is probably one of my most famous guitars. If you guys are new to my channel, this guitar is all over my channel and is responsible for growing this channel, especially back in the day a few years ago. But yeah, this guitar's my baby, and I love it, man. All right, up next we have my Shell Pink Vola Oz 7-string. I toured with this guitar as my backup guitar in the springtime, and I really, really sincerely love this guitar, and I have to do more content with this guitar. I know I said my Kiesel A2 is my favorite, but I think it's just because of like the aesthetics of the color and stuff, but this guitar plays great, it sounds great, you know, stainless steel frets, made in Japan, locking tuners, 5-way, has like a direct to the humbucker switch where like it bypasses everything. Really cool guitar, man. Really dig this guitar. And yeah, I've just been sleeping on it and slacking on it. But Vola Guitars makes really awesome instruments. I noticed, you know, a lot of my peers recently got some of these on their channels and stuff, so it looks like they're doing another push. But yeah, man, go give Vola some love. They're awesome, and I really, really dig this guitar. And like I keep saying, I need to make more content with this guitar. Up next, we have a very important guitar of mine, and that is my Cerberus Erebus 7-string guitar, another guitar that I toured with here in 2023. This was my primary guitar for the first half of my For the Fallen Dreams tour, and this guitar was playing in drop F sharp with 7, you know, on a 7-string. And I really, really love Cerberus guitars for a number of reasons. And yeah, man, this guitar plays great, sounds great. It's a baritone. It's a 27-inch guitar, so it's got a pretty long scale length, as you can see. I got to, you know, bring it back a little bit to get it to fit into frame. But, you know, I played like maybe a dozen shows with this before I switched to an LTD, just because I wanted to try an LTD and tour with one so I could make content for the channel. As you guys saw, I made a video on it. But yeah, man, really, really dig Cerberus guitars and this guitar. And this guitar is responsible for my signature baritone to be, you know, made in 2024 and you know, be shipped out to you guys. So, you know, for those of you guys who pre-ordered them, man, you know, they're right around the corner. I'm chomping at the bit. I'm sure you guys are as well. But yeah, Cerberus guitars, really, really good to me, and this guitar is awesome. All right, one of the most famous guitars ever on my channel, my Squier Vintage Modified Baritone Jazz Master, the OG 30-inch baritone guitar. This guitar came into my life like 3.5 years ago. Toured with it all over the country, wrote a whole bunch of songs on it, you know, on Chronic Pain, the title track, Chronic Pain's this guitar, Take a Deep Breath In, on my latest album, Super Bowl, was recorded on this guitar, you know, a whole bunch of stuff has been done with this guitar. Previous bands have come and gone with me using this guitar exclusively, Anyway, everybody, yeah, what can I say that hasn't been said about my Squier Vintage Modified Baritone Jazzmaster? I truly think to this day it is still my favorite 30-inch 6-string baritone guitar, and you best believe I'm going to put it up against my own signature guitar from Cerberus. And I'll try my very best to keep all biased opinions out of that shootout. But anyway, man, yeah, just like everything can be attributed to this guitar, my love for baritone guitars. This guitar really made me carve out my own identity in the guitar world, in the guitar community, and I owe everything to this guitar. Up next, we have my 30-inch Firefly baritone with some humbuckers that my mom got me for my birthday here in 2023, all the way back in February. This guitar was like a lot of third guitar stuff on Subtle Comeback, and just like with a lot of the guitars that I keep saying and bringing out, I got to do more with it. But yeah, I really love this guitar, man, and what I really want to do is upgrade all the electronics and the hardware, and I want to keep humbuckers in this guitar because I guess this guitar sounds great and all, but like all of the guitars that I really gravitate towards in terms of the 30-inch baritone land, they all have like Jazzmaster or P90 single coils, right? So like I would love to like get some really high-end and spec'd out humbuckers just to see what would happen, because these are just Firefly proprietary humbuckers. They're not anything special, and maybe that doesn't matter, but I think they do matter, like especially like Fishmans and EMGs. They sound absolutely amazing, right? So I think I want to upgrade the pickups and the hardware, maybe throw in a hip shot and some hip shot tuners and stuff. But anyway, man, regardless, dude, yeah, this guitar's special. My mom got it for me. Up next is my Solar E 2.6 27-inch 6-string baritone. This guitar Ola England sent to me about 2 years ago now, I think, something like that, and I absolutely love it, man. This guitar will never leave my possession because it the man himself, Ola, sent me this guitar to check out, and I'm forever thankful and grateful. And Ola's always been good to me. Solar Guitars has always been good to me, and this guitar just looks super metal, dude. Maybe one day I'll get more use out of it, but regardless, man, Ola gave me this, and I'll never get rid of it. Alright, so this is a guitar that I have an extreme love-hate relationship for, and I know with a lot of TLC I could get it to play well, but for right now, it's really just not fun to play. This is a Squier, I forget what the series is called, but it's it's got a floating Floyd Rose and 2 humbuckers and a roasted maple neck. And this guitar, I know, like I keep saying, I know with the right TLC and upgrades and stuff would be absolutely amazing. The neck is really, really cool. It's a giant neck. It's not a shredder neck. It's a big baseball bat neck, which I actually kind of love and dig, and it's unique, especially for super shredders. But yeah, like with some upgraded pickups, an upgraded bridge, and some upgraded tuners and an upgraded locking nut, this guitar would play great. But all those things I just named right now are like give or take $1,000. So like I'd have to put a lot of money into this guitar to get it to play right and play great. But maybe one day I'll start chipping away at doing all that. But yeah, man, just don't really have much use for this guitar. I bought it on a whim for a video, and the video has done really, really great. But yeah, man, this guitar, I know I have to put a lot of TLC into getting it up and running. All right, this guitar is currently under construction, but don't worry, it's under construction for a reason. I've just taken off the tuners and the stop tail piece because I'm going to put some new tuners on this guitar. But this is my 1978 Gibson Les Paul Custom. I've had this guitar for about 5 years now, and I absolutely love it. Toured with it all over the country just this past fall with For the Fallen Dreams. All the Drop A Sharp stuff was done on this guitar. It is incredibly beat up and worn in and worn out, however you want to talk about it, however you want to describe it. But this is an absolute monster guitar, and one of the best guitars I've ever played and owned. And it's just an old dinosaur from the New Orleans era. What's there not to love about it, right? This guitar is very, very famous, been all over the channel, and it'll never leave me. Another Les Paul that's under construction, this is my 2021 Gibson Les Paul Standard 50 spec, and I'm in the process of putting gold hardware on it because I want to make it look like Ace Frehley's signature guitar. His is a custom, but like I really dig the cherry sunburst aesthetic with gold hardware. I think that looks really, really sharp. So I'm in the process of doing that. So slowly but surely I'll get this guitar up and running. This guitar gets a decent amount of use, but as of late really hasn't seen much use on the channel. But yeah, just like with all the other guitars I've mentioned, it's never going to go away. This is a keeper for life for sure. Up next is a Stratocaster copy that Sweetwater sent me from Washburn, and it was for a video called How to Record Guitar When You're Completely Broke. And this guitar is it's pretty sick, man. It's a great little budget-friendly guitar for like $250, something like that. Up next is my Harley Benton Bass 6 copy, and I don't know how I feel about this guitar. it sounds cool and it's pretty rad and stuff, but I don't know if it'll ever take the place of like a real 30-inch baritone guitar. And, you know, honestly, they're kind of the same thing. I don't know, dude. Just something about this guitar. It plays solid and it has the sound that I'm looking for, but for whatever reason, I just don't really gravitate towards it that much. And last but not least, everybody, we have my TWS guitar with some Tim Henson signature Fishman pickups. This guitar made it to the Subtle Comeback album, and the song A Game Called 31 was written and recorded on this guitar. At the time, it had Seymour Duncan pickups. It didn't have the Fishmans in it when I wrote it and recorded it. I mean, that was back in like February, March of this past year. So that was written and recorded a long, long time ago. So I've since swapped out the pickups and put in some Fishman Tim Henson pickups, again, for a video for Sweetwater. But I really sincerely love the Tim Henson pickups a lot. Yeah, this guitar's sick, man. It looks absolutely amazing. It looks like fake. Like, it doesn't even look real how beautiful this thing is, right? And it's got an interesting scale length. It's 26.2 inches. So it's like, it's a oddly specific scale length, right? But it's pretty cool, man, nonetheless. So yeah, everybody, those are all my guitars. I've got quite the collection, and I'm always trying to downgrade and downsize. I'm failing at that for sure, but yeah, man, there's a lot of guitars that you guys have seen that I use almost constantly, and then there's a lot of novelty guitars that I've been fortunate enough to collect and obtain over the years. But yeah, man, those are all the guitars I own. With that being said, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and pick up one of my albums. Shoot me an email or shoot me a DM, and I'll get you squared away, okay? All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Later.